that look good? This is the 2019 Lexus RX 350. We're lab testing this for the week. Normally I'd have Andie right about there, but honestly it is way too hot on this pavement. She's inside soaking in the air conditioning. You could get this in a hybrid with a long wheelbase that has a third row. Oh yeah, this is your standard all-wheel drive model, so let's check it out. Hey there, beautiful. What is your name? Noble brown leather, you say? Brown can go either way. It can look real good or, well, we're not gonna go there. But in here, I think it looks more like burgundy. I mean, look at my pants. The stitch lines, they match. And this is just one option. If you go on the website, there is a plethora of other premium and luxury options. And if you're looking for that seat that just, ooh, feels so right, also on the derriere, well, Lexus totally has it right in here. And I have never experienced a seat with this kind of lumbar support. If you have lower back pain, you are gonna love this seat. And your passenger has it too. 10-way power adjusting. I guess you could say it's ergonomically friendly. It's also heated and ventilated. And one thing that I wanted to point out about the passenger seat, you can actually lower it, which is not always the case. It's a little bit of a tighter, kind of close-knit feeling here. First time I got in, I adjusted my seat, and my head was almost touching the ceiling. And you know what helps? Pop open the sunshade, and you get about this much extra head space. Very scientific measurement there, but it definitely makes it feel more bright and airy. Plus, you gotta love the Phantom moonroof. Andie sure does, right girl? Seats back here, very comfortable too. And as you can see, 40-20-40 split. Right, Andie? Here you go. Beautiful leather and wood on the door. I like this crisscross stitch look. Makes it a little bit more special. Very comfortable, big, spacious, easy to move around. And you know what else is great? The floor, fully flat. Makes it easier to put some bags back here. Plus, you have a little extra storage in the seat backs and the doors. Hidden storage, 2 extra cup holders. And one of the things that stands out the most back here is the electronic movement of these seats. No pull tabs, no levers, just with the push of a button, and I'm that much closer to you. Overall, interior space really isn't showy, it's more sophisticated. That's the word I would use to describe it. Between the leather and the unique stitch lines, the matte aluminum trim, thank goodness it's not super shiny, and the gorgeous wood. There are pinstripes in this wood, kind of like a classy suit. And these lines are not just painted on, it's actually aluminum. The two materials are layered together, and then the wood gets engraved with a laser so that aluminum detail pops out. Now, I read these cup holders have a self-gripping design, which basically means that you can unscrew a bottle with one hand, which is great when you're driving, you can keep your hand on the wheel, but let's see if it really works. I might have screwed this on a little too tight. Come on. There we go. I mean, it works. It definitely is a little bit harder if you screw your lid on real tight. And for some additional storage, you got your consoles, center, front. You actually have a little rubberized tray up here. And these doors, check this out. You think a large water bottle isn't gonna fit? Until it does. Isn't that cool? And can we just admire the steering wheel for a hot second? Beautiful wood, soft leather, real thick stitch lines. I mean, that looks like someone sewed it by hand with love. Have you ever been in a situation where your windshield wipers actually freeze up? Trust me, it's the worst. You either have to pull over, try and clean them off, and sometimes you can't even do it because it's that cold outside, so you gotta push the window down and drive with your head out the window. This Lexus has heating elements on the edge of the windshield to help prevent that from happening. Oh, and by the way, there's also a headlamp washer. Oh yeah, that's right. You can give your headlamps a bath. I think it's a great idea. All those bugs you've hit when you're driving, scrub-a-dub-dub, give those lights a good rub. If only they installed a bigger version of that in the rear, I could hose Andie down after a muddy walk. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. See you guys later. That's as low as it goes. So, for all you nappers, this infotainment, I really like how it's not intimidating. Some luxury vehicles, you get inside of it, and it can be very overwhelming for people. But in here, once you kind of get used to this remote control scroll thing, you don't have to go through multiple interfaces to kind of find what you're looking for. It's all right here, nice and clear. Now I will say the 2020 models are gonna have Apple CarPlay, and this doesn't have it, but if that's not important to you, I mean, maybe you could get a really good deal on a 2019. Now you can stream via Bluetooth, so if you want to leave your phone in your purse, you can do that, or you can plug in right here. USB port, bada bing, bada boom. Now open this up. This looks like it was designed for a phone to fit. Phones these days are kind of big, and I don't even have one of the big ones, and I can't get it to close. When I take the case off, the phone somewhat fits when you put it on an angle this way, but realistically, I'm not going to use that. Maybe I could put a couple dog treats in there. But you know what else you might find helpful? Just learn some basic voice commands. Temperature to 62 degrees.
Is this correct?
Yes. When it comes to climate control, you do have designated buttons right here up front. When it's on full blast, it's actually not that loud, but it does take a little bit of time to kind of really get up to speed. There's one way to cool you down. But once it gets up there, if you close some of these vents up front, it really helps send that power to the rear, which is perfect for Andie, right girl? Because in this second row, there are only 2 vents right here in the center, and you actually can't control the temp. Now these seats are heated, but when it comes to airflow, you really gotta pump it up front to get it cool back here. But if you buy the 3-row version, you're gonna have extra vents in the rear. And the vents, they would be like right here. They would be blowing all on Andie. It would be perfect, or should I say perfect. I mean, personally, I would buy the 3-row version just for those vents and just leave those seats down. Plus, you'd gain a little extra cargo space. And if you're watching and don't have a dog and you just really want to know if your golf clubs are gonna fit back here, well, Andie is kind of about the size of a big golf bag. So use your imagination. And when you need the extra space, no muscle needed. Just push a button, and both can go down at the same time. Maybe a little slow, but honestly, great if you have a difficult time reaching and pushing. The only one that you have to reach and push for is if you want that little section down in the middle, the 20 section. There is some storage under the floor with a spare tire, a little extra compartment right here on the side. Now, if the height of this rear door opens too high for you to reach comfortably, you can adjust the height right up front. So you can either have it like boop, 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 however you want it. Also, this is a little bit higher off the ground, so I would definitely help your big fur kids in and out so they're not jamming their joints. But there is a plus to that, because if you have a heavy suitcase, it's so easy to just pull it out. And the best part is right here. You ready for this one? As long as you got the key, you don't have to wiggle your foot, lose your balance while trying to do a dance to get this thing open. Oh no, watch this. I said, stop in the name of love. Before you break my heart, think it over. That's right, just wave your hand in front of the Lexus emblem and that bad boy pops open. Getting a little hot, let's jump in and take a drive. Now if I had to use 3 words to describe this, I'd say smooth, quiet, and comfortable. I mean, I'm done, that's all I gotta say. Now you can get this for about $45K. Now this particular model is definitely a little bit more because it's got more premium packages. It's around $60. However, you got to think about the competitors. BMW X5, Mercedes-Benz GLE, which we did videos on, by the way. My point is this, This is priced really well. You get a lot for your money. It's not super showy, yet you still get a beautiful luxury experience. Now I get it. This is why you see a ton of these on the road. I mean, the first day I got this, I'm on the highway, and I kid you not, it was like an RX family reunion. I had like all different generations surrounding me. I mean, metaphorically, Lexus has a great recipe in this RX. Don't change much, except a little sprinkle of Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I think people will love that. Now this has a 3.5 liter V6 engine. Acceleration is good. I mean, it doesn't feel like the fastest vehicle out there, but it's not trying to be. And you do have a sport mode for a more dynamic feel, eco mode if you like to be efficient. I've been driving in all, and Andie has been just fine. And if you're curious what this looks like at night, LED everywhere. Check this out. When it comes to safety, the features in this vehicle, they just work. You have your blind spot monitor right there, very easy to see. This will also brake for you if you're backing out of a spot and a car is coming by to avoid that collision. And my favorite is this panoramic view monitor. If you're pulling into a tight spot or doing some sort of weird maneuver and you want to see what's around you, it pops up a screen that has a composite image of the vehicle and its surroundings. If you're pulling up and you don't know how much further to go, you can see that too. And when it comes to visibility, these cutouts really do help. I mean, you can see what's out there. Hello, hello. Turn to the back, pretty decent too. Hello, Miss Andie. Overall, beautiful vehicle. We've really enjoyed our week with it. Andie and I have discussed, and our top 5 favorite features are: 1, the front grille. Love the design, it is very elegant. 2, the spacious cargo area. I love that Andie's bed can be on a nice flat surface and not an incline. 3, the electronic seat movement. Great for a kid that needs help or even a person with limited mobility. 4, the smooth, quiet, and comfortable ride. And 5, that 40-20-40 split. It's always nice to have a peek through to see your fur kid if you need to use those side seats. Big thanks to Lexus for letting us lab test this 2019 RX. Andie, is it lab approved? This is totally lab approved. Thanks again to everyone who subscribed, and if you haven't done so, we'd love it if you join the family. Plus, if you follow Andie on Instagram, you'll get to see more photos of this RX all week. Now next week, we're not doing a lab tested video. If I get my act together, I am gonna put a video up that will make you smile. But the next week, we have the Range Rover Evoque, so stay tuned for that. And we will see you next time. Come on, Andie, give me a high five. Bye!